Hey y'all, this is Daniel. Welcome to Blunt Talk, another episode, baby. How you guys doing? Episode number 12. Again, I know I say this every episode, but thank you for the support. You guys keep hitting the like button on YouTube and on SoundCloud and keep sharing it and everything. It just means a lot to me. So thank you. It keeps making me move forward. Now, without a further ado, we got a special guest today. We got my homie Austin Smith. How we doing, Smitty?
What's up, man? How's it going?
How we doing? First question I ask everyone: how's the quarantine been for you?
Quarantine, quarantine's boring. It's just it's sitting in my house. I'm honestly not working right now, but
Okay.
hopefully working soon. And
Mhm.
so New Jersey's about to open up pretty soon.
I saw the governor said something about like you guys like him lifting the order already or something.
Yeah, it was supposed to be until the end of July, but he lifted it. So some things are going to open throughout this month, and hopefully after this, everything will be back to normal because
Hopefully.
this stuff is real crazy.
Oh, I know this is all crazy. Down here in Virginia, we're supposed to open up Friday actually, so we'll see how
Really,
that goes.
that's what's
We'll see how
up.
that goes. But I feel you, man. I've been on the application like nonstop, like
Yeah, just
apply,
applying every day to
apply.
places.
I got
Yeah,
nothing to do in quarantine, so I might as well.
exactly.
And besides that, it's been a lot of 2K, FIFA,
Uh-huh.
2K and FIFA.
Yeah,
Honestly,
2K. I'm all 2K'd out. I'm playing Warzone right now, so
Warzone. Ooh.
yeah.
I've been meaning to jump on Warzone, but I don't know because I'm not that good in first-person shooter games. So
I feel you.
So we'll see. Now, the first part of today's podcast, basically, you're a diehard Sixers fan. So tell me a little
Yes.
bit about that. Why did you become a Sixers fan? Why the Sixers?
So my dad is from West Philly.
Okay.
So that's where kind of like my Philly passion comes from. Just like everything
Mhm.
Philly, Eagles, Sixers, Flyers.
Mm-hmm.
That's just all me. Ironically enough, my dad isn't like the biggest Philly fan,
Oh,
but
wow.
I kind of just suck with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it went.
So your dad's a fan of who then? If he's not a Philly fan,
He just likes to joke around and say like he likes every team that's not the Sixers or the Eagles. Yeah,
he likes to troll people. Okay.
yeah, exactly. Like if the Eagles or the Sixers are playing somebody, it'll be like, oh yeah, it's my favorite team. Like
He
stuff like
roots for
that.
the opponent. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. That's funny. That's actually funny. Who's your favorite like you can say 3, 5, whatever amount you want. It's like Sixers you've seen play.
That I've seen play. So
Because
I
I
would
don't want you to say Moses Malone because like he's
right,
top 10 all time in
right.
NBA players, but like
Uh-huh.
we both didn't see him play, so like
Exactly. So obviously number one has to be Allen Iverson.
okay.
He is the Sixers, like
Yeah.
he's probably like the first person I remember like even like when I started watching basketball.
Mm-hmm.
He's like that first person that like everyone wanted to wear an arm sleeve because of him and all that, like
That
stuff
ass.
like that. So he would definitely be number one.
He
And
changed the
then
game. Like he should be up there in everyone's list.
he should. People say pound for pound, he's the greatest player ever. Like, he's the best small guy to ever do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just gonna give you three because a lot of the players I didn't see play, like Dr. J and all that. I'm not gonna give you
Okay.
Charles Barkley. Like they're definitely Sixers legends, but
Yeah.
in terms of what I've seen play, my next two would have to be Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid.
No Iggy. I'm surprised you ain't got Andre.
Okay, Iggy would be number 4, and then Lou Will would probably be 5. But
Okay.
I'd be honest with you, when they were playing, I wasn't that big into basketball, so
Okay.
well, I was playing it, but I wasn't really watching it.
I got
like,
you.
as
Like
you
you
get
said,
older, you're able to like
Yeah.
understand the sport more, and I wasn't really
Yeah.
doing all
Oh no,
that.
for sure I get that. You weren't like as an avid of a fan, so you just weren't like.
Yeah.
But you said Joel Embiid, the process, and Ben Simmons. How do you feel about Ben Simmons not being able to shoot really?
In my opinion, I don't think he needs to shoot yet. If you think about it, if you're comparing to a player, everyone's going to compare him to Giannis, the way he's 6'10",
Okay.
handles the ball,
Oh, yeah.
and plays defense, right? So Giannis is in his 8th year, and he just starting to be able to make the three, last season, even this season.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Simmons is in his 4th, I believe. So
4th, 5th, around
maybe
there.
3rd. I think he maybe even 3rd or 4th. But
Did he get like injured like the whole first season?
his first season he didn't play a game. Just like
so it honestly might be even more than.
Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely going to come along. You just got to get it time. There's not a player in the league that can get 34 to 40 points without shooting the three. He's the only player who can do it.
That's a good point. The only reason I bring it up is because me as being like a Knicks fan, but not just the Knicks part, like being a fan of another team, seeing how the Sixers work and are orchestrated.
Hmm.
You have Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid that both need the paint, and then you're
Right.
forcing someone like Joel Embiid to shoot threes all the time. And like
Yeah.
you compared him early in his years to Elijah One.
Hmm.
Elijah One wasn't shooting threes, so I don't know. I feel like they don't. I mean, they've shown that they can get the results. They make it like semifinals and the playoffs, and they get a
Yeah.
good regular season record. But I feel like they're not the best matchup. Like you know what I
I
mean?
mean, I would have to disagree with that. The number one Sixers problem is like I love Brett Brown, but he's just not the coach we need right now.
Mm-hmm.
He has a lot like Andy Reid. Like Andy Reid, he was a great coach for the Eagles, but he just like sometimes it's like time to go. Like you've been there too long and like you're not seeing results. Like
Yeah.
you just got to go. Even though Andy Reid brought them to 2 Super Bowls, it's just like sometimes you just got to go with something different.
No, I can agree with you honestly because Brett Brown doesn't seem like he's cutting it.
Yeah. I also think I don't think it has anything to do with players necessarily. Obviously, we need more, like maybe 1 or 2 more pieces, but management needs to do a better job, like signing and trading for players. Like Al Horford, that was a total bust.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's
like,
terrible.
Oh my God, we finally got the person that stops Embiid is on our team. We don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, the thing is, we wanted him because he's another big man who can shoot, but he's not really shooting that well this season, and he just clogs the paint. When you need Joel inside, Ben inside, and Al Horford inside, there's way too many.
I went to one Sixers game this year against the Knicks. Horford and Harris, they both dropped like 30.
Yeah, that had to be early in the season because that's
that was time. Exact. My bad, I forgot to say that was when Embiid was injured.
When Embiid was injured, okay. I mean, he had a couple of good games, and actually, another reason we signed him. I'm not sure if you remember the game on Christmas against the Bucks. Al Horford and Ben Simmons totally shut down. Well, not shut down because he still had like 30 points, I believe, but we just need defense against Giannis. That's the only team we're really worried about in the playoffs.
No, that's a good point. Like you guys signed them because you needed to have more people, more bodies in order to stop Giannis.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I understood that part, but just adding him to the mix didn't seem like the most.
It was a reach. We tried to find a replacement for Jimmy, and he wasn't it.
How do you feel about losing Jimmy? Like that whole situation?
I love Jimmy. Jimmy's probably like one of my favorite players in the NBA, but I don't. Jimmy didn't want to play for us. He probably, I don't know. There's a bunch of stories around it, but you know, like he probably didn't like the coaching, and
that's the one thing.
That's justified.
I've listened to the JJ Redick podcast, and this man interviewed.
Yeah, I actually did see that.
What they were talking, just it was like a dysfunctional mess, or like the way that like some days it would be Ben Simmons, another day would be Jimmy, the next day would be Tobias, and then like he just didn't like it. So I like Tobias Harris. I'm a big Tobias Harris fan.
He gets a lot of slander, but he's definitely a very important piece to our team. Very important piece. He for being as many teams he's been on. He's been on like
gets traded
the Bucks,
like every season.
The Magic, the Clippers, the Sixers, and I think there was one other team. The Pistons, right. For being as many teams he's been on, he's actually pretty young. I don't think he's hit 30 yet. I think he's either 28
he's
or
like
26-ish. Is he? Is he still 26? That's even crazier. So I think he's going to be one of the players we keep for a long time.
I don't like the contract though, because like I love Tobias Harris, but like I feel like you guys overpaid him. But like,
I mean that's the thing. Like we took a gamble on it because, like I said, he's young. And he's just he's one of those fringe all-star players who'll come into his own. I think this I guess this break that the NBA's having might do the Sixers a lot of good because a lot of players are banged up and all that. And I think they may make a little run in the playoffs this year.
They might have a shot, honestly. I don't know what to expect. Like everyone's coming back from like just staying in their houses. Not half these players haven't been shooting.
I don't know if you saw Ben Simmons' post yesterday. It was like him in the gym or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's getting a lot of slander because of it, because people saying, "Oh, like he's not shooting, he's just lifting weights." So, like, it's just I don't know. Ben Simmons doesn't need to shoot.
Hey, even if he eventually in his career like develops a jump shot, I feel like the slander's still going to be there.
Yeah, I honestly think it's a bias towards Philly because Philly has this stereotype against them that's like, oh, Philly fans are scumbags and they're the worst fans ever and all that.
City of brotherly love.
Yeah, exactly. I also going back to one of my favorite players, Matisse Thybulle, the rookie this year.
He got clamps.
He's nice. He's gonna be real good.
Did you see the the story they were saying in draft night when they drafted him?
I didn't. What is it?
Like his mom died or something, and then
oh yeah.
Like he kept like something of his mom under his jacket or something like that. And
He had it on the inside of his jacket. Yeah, a picture of his mom.
It was, bro. I almost teared up. I'm not going front. The way they were like explaining it, I was like, nah, you can't tell me that. Like
the drafts tend to do that a lot, though. Like try to make some
definitely
come up story behind it. Not that it's a bad thing, but like
no, of course.
A lot of players are like
you gotta show what the person came through, like the journey.
Right.
The funny thing is, like, I watch a bunch of like the most recent drafts with my family. And whenever like they say these sob stories, my mom always is be tearing up, being like, "Oh, how could you?"
Yeah.
What's your favorite all-time Sixers moment?
Favorite all-time Sixers moment? Wow, that's a tough one.
Because I know you're not gonna say Kawhi with the
no, that's probably that still haunts me. Like I had nightmares about that. That was probably the most upset I've ever been about. Like just any like sport. Like I thought I was upset when I don't know if you've seen the game, but I think it was 2017. The Eagles were playing the Saints in the playoffs, and we were on the drive, like probably like going up to try to win the game, and the ball like just tips out of Alshon's hands and it gets intercepted and we lose. And that was almost like the same as that 4 bounces, like and going in. I sat down like. I was like standing up. Obviously, I was hyped, and I was like, "All right, we're about to get to overtime."
Down, you were like,
and then I like just like totally just collapsed on the ground. I was like sitting there for like 15 minutes, just like trying to figure out what happened.
I can't imagine. That's like I was watching that game live, and I was like, "Wait, there's no way that just happened in front of my eyes." Like, wait, what?
That was the craziest thing. 4 bounces. A lot of people say it's just like the sports gods paying us back for like the double doink when the Bears missed the field goal and it hit both goalposts. Or whatever.
I don't know, man. I'm low key. That's just lucky.
Yeah, it is lucky.
Kawhi's my guy. You see the jersey, but it's I don't know. Like that bounce can go either way. What I think is hilarious about that moment, though, is the pictures and the memes, like Joel Embiid crying, everyone in the background being like, ah.
Yeah, it's an iconic picture. Honestly, I can't even lie. But my favorite moment, to be honest with you, Sixers don't have a lot of moments because like. We were terrible for like the longest time, like at least 6 or 7 years. So it has to be the step over with AI. Like that's just like the most iconic.
Yeah, that's really iconic. The Ty Lue one.
Yeah, Ty Lue. Because actually that game was on NBA TV not too long ago. I was just watching it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I was gonna say one of my favorite moments that I remembered though. I mean, it's kind of like a messed up one. It's like when Derrick Rose got injured in the playoffs against y'all. And you guys were like an 8th seed, and you guys somehow made it to the second round.
I mean, we made it to the second round because Derrick Rose got injured. Yeah, that's the only reason. Derrick Rose
that's back in the Drew Holiday days. I know. Yeah. Wow, we forgot about Drew Holiday.
He may be coming back, so we'll see.
We'll see. All right, Smitty. Now on to any other thing you want to add about your Sixers?
Let's see. Going back to Al Horford. And his contract being terrible. There are talks of him leaving or being traded next season to the Kings with a package for Buddy Hield and Bogdanovich. Or I think it's Bogdanovich.
Well, Bogdanovich is a free agent this off season.
Is he a free agent?
Yeah. He's not restricted, but they're like what I've heard from it is that he's coming back to Sacramento because they love him there. So that might happen, honestly.
Yeah, I'm hearing Buddy Hield wants out, and the Sixers are front runners to get him, or either the Kings or he might get traded. Going back to Drew Holiday, he might get traded to the Pelicans.
The Sixers? Pelicans.
Yeah, Pelicans.
So you would do Horford and Holiday, but there would need to be like another piece there.
Oh yeah. It's going to be like Horford, Zaire Smith. He hasn't really gotten any playtime in the NBA. But he's been in the G League, like balling out in the G League. But
hey, he's good on 2K at least. I know that he develops nicely.
Yeah, he flies on 2K. It's crazy. But I believe it'll be a package, like a couple of picks, Al Horford, Zaire, and probably Shake Milton, who's been balling at the end of the season.
Bro, he dropped 20-something the game I saw him play. He was doing like crossovers and doing
I think he had 40 against the Clippers. Like not too like not too long before the season ended. It was like he was
He
balling at the
definitely
end of the
benefited
season.
from the injuries and just you guys not having like the strongest bench.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
got the game time and
yeah.
everything.
It's like next man up mentality. You gotta fight for your spot.
One quick question before we finish with the Sixers is: if you think Brett Brown leaves, who will be like the coach to replace him?
My number one who I want is Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson is the
He's
reason
been done dirty. He deserves an
done
NBA
dirty.
coaching
He's
job.
the reason the Warriors are what they are.
That's what I say all the time.
Not that Steve
Steve
Kerr is
Kerr.
not an incredible coach, but Mark Jackson deserves some credit for it, and he really doesn't get any. Either him or I would love to see Van Gundy. Van Gundy is he's a coach who knows how to coach big guys. Like he
Which Van
develops the
Gundy though? Jeff or Stan?
Stan.
Stan. Okay.
He's a coach who made Dwight Howard like during
Oh
his
yeah.
prime. He developed Drummond when he was on the Pistons and all that. So I think he can really help Joel Embiid.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I was thinking because you said Jeff, and like I've heard that Jeff might be in the running for the Knicks job alongside Tom Thibodeau and Mike Woodson.
Yeah, Mike Woodson's coming back to the Knicks? Wasn't he already?
There's an actual chance.
Really? That's crazy.
I don't know how to feel about that because like
yeah, I don't know how if he didn't work once, I don't think it'll work again.
I don't know. He doesn't have a memorable moment in my opinion. So we just have to see because a lot of teams are gonna have new coaches. That's the one thing we do know.
Yeah.
But now on to our next topic. So we both are gonna basically go over like the matchups in the playoffs. And we're gonna like talk about each matchup and see what we think is gonna happen, who's gonna be like the upper hand and win the series, and just go out throughout the whole bracket until the finals.
All right.
First, we're gonna start. I'm gonna assume there's gonna be a play-in game because I don't know if you checked it out, but basically is the play-in tournament will include the number 8 and number 9 teams in each conference.
Right.
If the 9th seed finishes the
regular season, 4 games, right?
4 games. That means that they will have 1 game at first. If the 9th seed beats them, they gotta beat them again. But if the 8th seed wins, it's done. They only gotta win 1. That's a weird playing. Like
yeah, it is really weird. Honestly, I think it's made that way because the NBA wants to see Zion in the playoffs like really bad.
That's what I'm thinking. Because like in the East, you only got Washington. So you really telling me that you just made this like what? Like no, okay, no, stop it.
I think it was also because those teams weren't like yet. I guess it had to be like within a certain amount of games. Like if I assume the East teams. I don't really know. I don't remember what the standings were, but they must have been outside 8 games because if they couldn't.
Oh no, yeah, no. Yeah. The way the games are like the next teams would be like Chicago and New York, but they're like so many games behind back. It's not even worth it.
Yeah, and the Hawks too. The Hawks are one of them.
The Hawks are kind of up there, but. I think it's interesting because in the Western Conference, like teams 8 to like 12, they're so close to each other. So like say it happens that it's 8th Memphis, 9th New Orleans, and 10th Portland. Okay. But they're like Portland and New Orleans is both 4 games behind. You can't have 3 playing games.
Yeah.
How's Damian Lillard gonna feel about this?
Yeah, it's gonna work out so weird. I think even like the 6 to like the bottom, like they might even be that close. Like you could see like the Rockets even like go down to the 8th seed or something crazy like that.
It's gonna there's a chance that like the 7th to 5th seed are interchangeable. So OKC, Houston, and Dallas can all change positions by the end of the 8th game regular season.
Wow.
We have to see.
Yeah.
So let's start off first. I basically said like the matchup would be Memphis versus New Orleans. That's how we're gonna start. We're gonna start with the playing game, and then we'll go to the. So
Memphis, New Orleans, for the playing game. Yeah, I would have to agree. It's definitely gonna be that. The NBA wants Ja versus Zion. That would be dope.
The battle of the rookie of the years.
Yeah, exactly.
So I feel like New Orleans could win the first game. But I think Memphis could win the second game.
I think it's just one game elimination, right?
No, because the New
best out of 3.
Hear me out. This is why it's weird. The 9th seed has to beat the 8th seed 2 times.
Wow.
The 8th seed's got to only beat the 9th seed once.
That's crazy. It's hard to beat a team twice, like especially twice in a row.
That's why I mean, like, I want New Orleans to win because I want to see Zion versus LeBron. I feel like that would be awesome. But I don't know if they got 2 games in a row against the Memphis Grizzlies because the Memphis Grizzlies are a decent team still.
They're young. They're just like the Pelicans. They got young players who are going to be future stars. The Pelicans might have a little bit more star power because they got
JJ Redick, Drew Holiday. They got Brandon Ingram.
That's what I'm thinking of. Brandon Ingram.
Eric Favors. Jaleel Okafor.
They got a lot of experience and a lot of talent. So I
could see the Pelicans. I didn't even mention Lonzo Ball.
He's been real good. I thought he was my prediction for most improved player this year. I think that's probably going to go to the dude out of maybe Bam. I'm thinking the dude out of Charlotte. I guess he didn't make the playoffs, so he's
Devontae Graham.
Devontae Graham, yeah.
Bro, he's a stud.
He was balling.
He's a cold-blooded killer, bro. But his shooting, he carries Charlotte like every game. They signed Terry Rozier, and they got Terry Rozier on the bench now because of him.
Yeah, that was the terrible signing for Charlotte. Terry Rozier was not that good to get paid the money he did. He should have just stayed the backup.
But would you rather get Terry Rozier or get nothing in return for Kemba?
I mean, it makes sense, but like.
No, I know what you mean. I was just trying to like.
Yeah.
Like it's just not. It's
definitely get something. Something's better than nothing.
What do you think? Do you think Memphis wins it in one game, or do you think New Orleans like steals this?
I'm gonna go with New Orleans. I think New Orleans will steal it.
Okay, I want New Orleans to do it, but I just don't know if they can win the 2 games. So I'm gonna go with New Orleans. Let's keep it like this. How about Orlando versus Washington? If it were to happen,
John Wall's coming back. So.
You think so?
No, it's like I'm pretty sure it's confirmed. He said he's 110% ready to go.
I saw him on the All the Smoke podcast with Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. He said nah.
He said he wasn't?
He said he was.
I thought I saw something recently that said he was going to play.
I mean, the episode was like a month ago, so maybe. So if John Wall comes back, that's a completely different scenario in this. People be disrespecting John Wall.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole different scenario. If you got Brad Beal still dropping 33 points a game and John Wall just doing what he does, if he can get back to where he was, hey, they definitely will steal it, 100%. They could even I'm not going to go as far as saying they could upset Milwaukee, but I don't know. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. So, honestly, if John Wall comes back, I'm gonna say Washington. That's my pick.
I'll agree with that. Only if he comes back, though.
Only if he doesn't, then I think Vucevic just bullies the Wizards because they ain't got no one to guard Vucevic.
Orlando's also got my boy Fultz.
They did my man dirty. Fultz is actually balling for the Magic now.
Yeah, he's got similar numbers to Lonzo this year.
Like really similar?
Yeah, Lonzo they average like almost the same amount of points. Lonzo's got more, like, averages more assists, but they're not too far off. Fultz has been balling this year, low key.
He's still young too. That's the thing.
He's 22. He's 22. He's gonna be fine. I love Fultz. I'm the biggest Fultz fan.
I just feel bad for how like it all happened, and then like them Philly fans kind of like either like I don't know.
I don't have a problem with trading him. Like he was injured. Like we just had to move on. We got Jimmy and Tobias out of it, and like. We almost made a run in the playoffs. If it wasn't for those 4 bounces, like who knows what would have happened? Like,
and you never know.
Yeah.
So, how about like, should we just put Orlando just in case John Wall doesn't come back then?
Yeah, definitely Orlando. Yeah, we'll put Orlando for now.
So, do you want to do the west side of the bracket first or the east side of the bracket first?
Let's do west. I'm looking at the west right now. That looks interesting.
We got the Lakers versus the New Orleans Pelicans in a 7-game series.
I'm never gonna doubt LeBron in anything and ever. Like Lakers are probably, I don't know. I'm gonna pick Lakers. Yeah,
I say it goes 4-1. 4-1 the most. 4-1 the most.
Yeah, at most.
The Pelicans can steal a game. How viable is it? I don't know, man. Because you gotta tell me. I mean, Zion Williamson, is he really stopping Anthony Davis?
No.
Not yet. Not yet. Boy gotta learn. Boy gotta improve and everything a little bit more.
Definitely.
And besides that, then you get the issue that there's LeBron at the point guard. So Lonzo ain't gonna be able to actually like do justice in defense to him. Like Lonzo's a good defensive player, but you think he can guard LeBron every possession?
Yeah. And if you try to put Zion on him. Zion's way too like he's not quick enough. Like he's quick, but he's not quick. LeBron quick.
He's quick-feeted, like on a
Yeah,
on his
he's
feet,
light on his
actually.
feet. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So,
I'm definitely gonna go Lakers.
Yeah.
At the most, they might pull off one game.
It's crazy though, because like LeBron, is it 8 straight finals he did before last season? Obviously, they didn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah, 8 straight. It was 2011 all the way up until last year. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Oh no, but they even made it before that. Before he had to be before that actually.
No. But my point with this is like he's coming off the first time that he hasn't been in the playoffs. You don't think he's got that chip on his shoulder? Like he's got like vengeance coming for everyone in his path?
And this has been his longest break away from basketball. This break has been even longer than the offseason is. Like he's got so much time to rest, and he's just gonna go off. It's gonna be crazy.
And you know LeBron ain't taking no breaks. Like in this whole quarantine, he was in his house.
He's been working,
pumping the weights, shooting, like everything. The man's ready.
He's coming different.
So the Lakers, clear cut decision for both of us. How about Utah versus OKC? I feel like this matchup happens every playoffs.
It does. It happened last year too. That's crazy. OKC's been a very surprising team. Like they weren't supposed to be a 5th seed in the West. Like,
hey, Chris Paul, man, he does a lot.
Chris Paul is the second best leader in the NBA after LeBron.
He's a great leader.
He's my favorite. If I'm going starting a team, I had to pick a point guard. Like Chris Paul's gonna be my point guard.
You can't go bad with it, honestly.
Yeah, like people always say Steph Curry, but if I want a true point guard who's gonna do what I need him to do, Chris Paul will always get the job done. So
I'm trying to think, because then Utah added Mike Conley, and then he hadn't worked out for them, and then now they've started depending on Bojan. It's Bojan, right? I hope.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. I think it's Bojan.
Bojan Bogdanovic has been playing a stretch 4 role for these guys. Has made like 4 buzzer beaters this season.
Yeah, he's been doing good.
Most points in the team, even more than Donovan Mitchell. They're relying on this man to be their one option. Then you got Joe Ingles as their small forward. No disrespect to Joe Ingles. I actually love Joe Ingles.
No, he's a good player.
Smart, savvy basketball player. But you're telling me Jordan Clarkson's going to be your third leading scorer, and like you're going to battle against the Thunder? It's an interesting series because it honestly can go either way. Because OKC doesn't have anyone on the wings, just like Danilo Gallinari, but he won't play the whole game for you. And then you got to deal with, I forgot about this. There's the whole Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert situation still.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that either. That's crazy.
Like, do you think they're gonna work together?
I mean, if you got to think basketball is their job. Like, they got to come to work and ready to go. Like, they can't be messing around with little petty. I mean, not petty stuff. It was definitely serious, but once it comes down to it, they'll be fine on the court at least. But
I was reading articles from Bleacher Report that apparently the Boston Celtics were going to make a trade for Rudy Gobert and send Gordon Hayward back to Utah. I was like, bro, you'd be stupid to let the second or 3 straight defensive player of the year go like that.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that. That's definitely a dumb trade on their part. I think a very underrated player, Steven Adams. Gobert, even though he's defensive player of the year, he tends to be soft a little bit. And I think Steven Adams is one of the strongest players in the league.
Yeah.
He's just gonna, if he can tire him out, like OKC's gonna win that. They're just more athletic and quicker. So with that being said, I think OKC could pull off that, I guess, upset, even though 4-5 is not really an upset, but I'm gonna go with OKC.
This is the thing. When the offseason happened last year and they did the Mike Conley thing and they got Bojan and they did all these moves for their bench and everything, I was like, this is going to be one of those years Utah is a sleeper team. Now the final product is here and like how it turned out to be. I just don't think they got it in the bag. They're a little bit too inconsistent this season. So
for them to be a real team, they need Donovan Mitchell to take that next step. Like, he's definitely a star, but he needs to take that next step into taking over. Like, I don't think he's there yet. I mean, he's still young. Obviously, he's a great player, but they need someone like him that is just gonna go off all the time.
and he's just not that good in the playoffs yet. Like he's gets you decent numbers, but like it's kind of hard to give a young guy like him like give him the range and be like, yeah, you gotta do this right now for us, and you like, wait, what? So I say OKC wins it in like 6 games.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be one that goes 6 or 7 for sure.
6 games. I'll say 6 games. So we got the Lakers and OKC. We'll get to that later. Then we'll got Denver and Houston. Now, I'm only going to say one thing because I hate the small ball thing the Houston Rockets are doing. I hate it.
Yeah.
Who's guarding Jokic?
Nobody. That's the thing. If they can somehow the seeds can interchange and they get like a better matchup, like maybe they'll win. Like I just can't see them winning because every team in the West has like a pretty dominant center. Like
except for the Clippers. That's the only matchup I can see Houston being like toe for a little bit, but they ain't got the.
I mean, no one's gonna guard Montrez. Montrez is a beast. But I guess he's not really their center. He's in start. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I picked Houston to low key be one of those teams who go to the Western Conference Finals or Finals before the season started. But
okay,
that's when I saw they had like Capella playing center, but he's not there anymore. He got traded to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't see them with this the way it's seated now. No one's guarding Jokic, and they're just gonna get dominated. Like,
I think this could honestly be a sweep, my guy. I honestly think it could be a sweep.
A sweep?
Or if it's not a sweep, it's because Russell Westbrook and James Harden turned it up a little bit.
Oh yeah, James Harden has to average 40 a game for them to win. Yeah, for real.
Because I get it. This new system they got has worked tremendously for Westbrook. He was looking like an all-star now with the numbers he was averaging.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You can't tell me you're gonna depend on PJ Tucker to box out Nikola Jokic all the time.
No way. They had.
I saw that apparently they interviewed Daryl Morey, and they're like, "Yeah, you know what we're gonna do for when we're in Orlando now? We're gonna run a fast-paced game, and we're only gonna have a 9-man rotation."
The Houston said that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's that D'Antoni system. Like D'Antoni, he just wants to get up and down the floor, and it works. That's why Harden averages as many points as he does because their system is such a ball dominant system.
Mm-hmm.
Like Westbrook and Harden just strive in it, but you cannot win without someone guarding Jokic or having a big man. Like he doesn't even have to score points; he's got to play defense.
And that's the thing, because Jokic, he's not gonna drop 30 on you, and then that's why you lose. He can drop 20 something, and then get 10 assists.
Exactly. Yeah. If you try to double him, he's just gonna dish it out, and they got
you're just
Jamal Murray and all them. They're just gonna shoot.
You're just screwed in that situation, in my opinion. So I say Denver wins in 5 or 6, or
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I agree. Denver in 5.
So we got Denver. Now the last matchup. This is the one that intrigues me the most in the West. You got Luka Doncic versus the Los Angeles Clippers, not the Dallas Mavericks. Luka Doncic versus Los Angeles Clippers.
I mean, they got Kristaps. They got Kristaps too.
He's been inconsistent this season, though. That's the thing. And
right,
it's nothing to do with me being a Knicks fan, but the way they've been playing him, just keeping him out in the top of the key the whole game, and him just shooting these 40-foot 3-point jumpers. Come on, bro. He can do so much more than that.
Yeah, I mean, it's also he's in a new system. He's been in the system for so long, and I don't think he played right away, and he hasn't played even that many games. I think
he's getting used to it. Of course, it's he's getting back into the rhythm of things.
Yeah. So with that being said, since he had a lot of time off, hopefully he's studying the playbook. Hopefully he's doing something.
Mm-hmm.
They're definitely. It's not just Luka, I wouldn't say, but you definitely have a point.
I was just joking. I know.
Yeah.
Honestly, that whole team is really good. They got Max Kleber, he's a guy that does Mavericks playing all the time.
He's not terrible. They're definitely a few pieces away, though.
Steph Curry, Tim Hardaway Jr.
Mm-hmm.
They got my boy JJ Barea, but he don't be playing that much no more. He kind of old.
He's old, yeah.
But
I think
it's the Clippers, my guy. Are we gonna doubt Kawhi Leonard and Paul George? I know they've been saying that group hasn't played the most amount of games together, but they're still pretty good. They're
The
still pretty
Clippers are
good.
deep. They're so deep.
Reggie
Like,
Jackson, Morris. They got Harrell, Lou Will, Landry Shamet. Those are bench players, my guy. Those are bench
yeah,
players.
yeah. They're crazy. They got Pat Bev. Like, they're nice,
I
bro.
love Patrick Beverly. Did you
Yeah.
see the Christmas game that it was the Lakers Clippers and then he blocked LeBron? Or was that the
Uh huh.
Christmas game?
I think it was a Christmas game.
He was all up in his face like, I did it,
Yeah,
yo. Um,
that's crazy. Yeah, they're deep. They're very deep. So there's just no way Dallas can withstand like all those players. Definitely gonna go Clippers in 4.
Clippers 4 or 5. I can see like 4 or 5. Luka's too young still. Like he can't be taking over like the whole series like this
Mm-hmm.
yet. And there's that's true. They do
He's
need another.
definitely a superstar though, in my opinion. Luka's a top 10 player
Oh
in the
yeah,
league.
all a first team All NBA, no doubt,
Yeah,
no
yeah,
question.
for sure. He could definitely pull off maybe one. I'll give him one game, but
hmm
Clippers are gonna run away with that series.
hmm Now my thing is, if the only reason the Clippers will lose these playoffs is because they beat themselves. Like I don't think anyone can beat the Clippers but themselves. Does that make sense?
I see what you're saying. I don't think anyone can beat them but the Lakers. The Lakers, I don't know.
What happened in the regular season, my guy? Both games they played, the Clippers were losing the whole time. They came back and won it.
Playoffs and regular season are a whole
It's a whole
different
different.
story.
It's a different beast. I agree.
Yeah,
We just have to see though. So for the West, we got Lakers versus the Thunder, and we got the Nuggets versus the Clippers. Now let's go to the East. Let's do the first round
all
and
right, yeah,
go back to the West and do the semifinals and jump back and forth. Milwaukee versus Orlando. I don't know if there's much to say about
yeah.
this.
There's not. uh, Orlando has like what one All Star player? Who was Vucevic an All Star this year?
Nah, he was
Uh,
one last year though.
Last year, yeah, he's definitely a very good big man, but they just don't have enough yet.
I honestly can't see them winning a game.
No, I can't see it either. I mean, I'm pretty sure they pulled off a couple of games against Toronto last playoffs. Who
They
Toronto
did.
obviously ended up winning the finals, but
They didn't win. They only They won the first game because DJ Augustine, out of all people, made that
yeah,
game
he
win.
went off. Yeah, I remember that. Um, yeah, it's just I can't see them really doing that much in the playoffs. They got a lot of young guys who like Mo Bamba and what's the other dude? Isaac Hayes, right?
Jonathan
Right, his name?
Isaac is a clamp
Jonathan Isaac, yeah.
god. He's got the defense for days. And Aaron Gordon, I like Aaron Gordon. He just hasn't
Aaron
developed
Gordon.
into a good
They
player yet.
got Fultz. Yeah, they just need to develop. They got a few more years before they're doing something.
So, can we both agree it's probably going to be sweep?
Yeah, Milwaukee in 4.
Milwaukee in 4. Got it. Now it's this is a good matchup. This is a good matchup. Miami, the 4th seed, versus Indiana, the 5th seed. Oladipo hasn't been the same person, kinda ish.
I mean, he came back real late.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. The Indiana is like one of those teams who always like just find a way to win. Like they're coached like very well.
They got Nate. What's his name? McMillan. They got Nate McMillan now, the guy from Portland back in the day with Brandon Roy and LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah. This one's definitely a tough one.
Because we both didn't expect Miami being a top 4 seed this year.
Maybe not top 4. They were definitely a playoff team though.
I love Jimmy, but like we didn't think that like Duncan Robinson.
No, he's
what's the name of their point guard? I'm blanking on.
Chris Dunn, isn't it? Chris Dunn?
No.
Maybe it's a different first name.
It's the undrafted guy that like a good.
Yeah, his last name's Dunn. I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna look it up, but then they got Myers Leonard. They got Bam Adebayo, who came out of nowhere now since they traded Hassan Whiteside. They got Iggy on the bench too.
Kendrick Dunn. It was Kendrick Dunn.
Kendrick Nunn. Oh my God, there you go. He's been a beast for them too. Like
he came out of nowhere. He was before for the first few weeks, like people were saying he's gonna be the rookie year, yeah. And what's his name? Tyler Hero out of Kentucky.
Tyler Hero's my God.
He was injured at the end of the
season?
before it stopped. Yeah, before the season stopped.
Oh.
But he definitely had time to heal and come back. They got Jimmy too. Like those are like there's two teams who are very like well coached. Like Eric Spoelstra.
Eric Spoelstra is an underrated coach of all time. He's very underrated.
Very good coach. I think we're
Now,
gonna have this one going like 6 or 7 games. But
honestly, I see this as a 7-game series.
yeah, at the end of the day, the Heat have too much star power. Like Jimmy and
Whoa, whoa,
Bam, who are
whoa,
both
whoa,
all
whoa,
stars
whoa,
this year.
whoa, 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 whoa. What happened to my boy Malcolm Brogdon? What happened to this man, Domantas
Ooh,
Sabonis? Sabonis
I
is averaging
mean,
16 rebounds.
Sabonis is nice. Sabonis is real nice.
hmm But
Uh,
I was just saying that because I was just saying that.
yeah, I
Honestly,
know. I
Miami,
feel
I
you.
feel
I
like
feel
Miami's
you.
got this.
I feel like Miami does have it, but I did forget about Malcolm Brogdon. Um, yeah, man, that's a tough one. The what's his name? Indiana actually has one of my favorite Sixers before he left, T.J. McConnell.
TJ McConnell's there too. That's the backup point
Yeah,
guard. They
yeah.
got TJ Warren. They got Miles Turner. Miles Turner's okay now. I mean,
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's gonna be a good matchup. I would love to see that Miles Turner versus Bam matchup. That's gonna be dope.
I just I feel like we can't go wrong either way we go with it. But like the only
Huh?
factor I'm gonna put into this is that Oladipo ain't the same person as he used to be.
Yeah.
It's a different system now because they were playing so long without him.
hmm They
So I
honestly might have him come off the bench. Like I could see that happening. Like
so do something like McConnell, Brogdon, Warren, and Sabonis and Turner, and bring Oladipo as a 6 man.
maybe. I
Okay.
mean, if you have Oladipo comes off the bench, that's a huge spark,
hmm
especially when those players have been playing together for so long. Like I mean, all season without him. Well, not all season, but he came in late. Like you build this chemistry that could definitely do something in the
hmm
playoffs.
I like that. I didn't think about that, but that's a possibility, honest, because then you can like see how he like gets used to like being in the NBA again and
hmm
just see how it goes. But
Yeah,
final verdict on the series. What's your opinion?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Heat in at least 6 or 7.
I think I gotta go Heat in 7, honestly. Because if Jimmy Butler goes off and starts carrying the team on his shoulders,
Yeah,
they got this. Like at least this round, they should be good for this round.
hmm for sure. I agree.
Now, this dreaded matchup of the Celtics versus the Sixers, the
Oh man,
rivalry, the rivalry.
it just sucks. You have to play them first round. I hate that.
This is another
I
good matchup, though, if you think about it, because these two teams, like, they're not that far away in the standings.
hmm And this is a team we all like. This is our rival. Yeah, like you said, our rival.
My thing is, Boston now, thank God they got rid of Kyrie Irving because he's just a virus. Like, he's just not good for any locker room or any team, honestly. Even though
I
I
feel like
respect,
that's BS. I don't agree with that.
really?
Yeah, I think Kyrie.
But what's happening in Brooklyn, my guy? Is Brooklyn not a dysfunctional mess because he was playing too? And isn't
I
them
mean,
holding an all-star caliber player when Kyrie's not on the court?
Kyrie needs. He was wrong when he left Cleveland and saying like he wants to be a star player.
Oh, he
I
was
don't
wrong.
think I don't think he's a player who can. Like he's a player who can definitely get 40 a night by himself, but he needs that another player better than him if he was going to win the finals.
A
And he
co-star.
has KD. He just didn't care about this season because he knows like, oh, I'm not winning without KD next to me.
Mhm.
So next season, once they have him, KD, like Karis LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie if he doesn't get traded,
Mhm.
Jared Allen, they're going to be they're my favorite to win next year. Again, it kills
They
me to
got a
say that
good
because
chance. They
obviously I
got
want
a good
I
chance with
want
all
the
the
Sixers
pieces
to
they
win.
have, and when they come back, that's a good shout.
Yeah,
But I personally like Kemba Walker with these Celtics better.
he fits better. Yeah, for sure he fits better. Yeah, definitely. They have the whole new culture. Like just like their
Mhm.
team is totally different.
And thanks to this, like Jason Tatum's now an all-star.
Yeah, Jason. Like I hate the Celtics. I say this all the time. I hate the Celtics just because they're the Sixers rival. But I love like so many players on the team. Like
Oh
Kobe
no, that's
was my
that's my
favorite.
issue. I'm a
Yeah,
Knicks fan.
Kobe
I
was
hate
my
the gut.
favorite player growing up, and like Jason. There's so much of like Kobe and Jason Tatum. Like Jason Tatum, like he reminds me of him, like the way he plays.
Mhm.
Uh, Jason Tatum is going to be a top 3 player for his rest of his career, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Once LeBron goes off, but you know what I mean. Like he's going to be a superstar
Yeah.
for so long.
The one thing is the matchup with Embiid / Horford against Daniel Tice and Enes Kanter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because Kanter can defend to save his life, and then
No.
Daniel Tice ain't gonna be like a defensive force against Joel Embiid. And
They're gonna pair up Tice against Simmons like they did before, and
okay.
I hope Simmons can do something. Hopefully, he's got at least a little like 15-footer or whatever he can shoot, because they're just gonna give him space like they always do.
Mm-hmm.
I also said like again, it kills me to say it, but I could definitely see a Celtics Lakers final, like a Boston, like the rivalry new,
The
like
rivalry
that could
back
happen.
in the day.
But I think if the Sixers can beat Boston, I think they can make the finals.
I mean, their path is significantly easier. They don't gotta face Milwaukee to the conference finals.
Exactly, yeah. Because Milwaukee would have to face, they would play Miami in the second round, right? And I think after that, like even if Milwaukee passes them, like Miami's a tough team. Like they're gonna be tired. Like, if the Sixers can beat them, and this is definitely gonna be a series that goes 6 or 7. Sixers, my non-biased opinion, Sixers are my favorite to go to the finals. But I think that series it will determine who's going to go to the finals of the East.
Okay. I see. Okay, I see. But I just feel like if this goes to a long series, I feel like the Celtics are just going to be a little bit too much to match for the Sixers. That's just my opinion. Unless Jason Tatum kind of chokes or Kemba doesn't perform, because Kemba's been inconsistent this season. That's the one thing.
Right.
I'm gonna say. My bad. I'm gonna say.
You got it. You can go.
I'm gonna say Celtics in 7. That's what
Celtics in 7.
Celtics in 7.
Another thing I've been reading today, Joel Embiid said like he has something to prove. Like he's coming out ready for this, and there's no one on the Celtics who can really guard Joel Embiid. Like if Joel plays like the number one center, like if he plays like he is, like I don't think. I got the Sixers, but Boston is really really good. So it's just gonna be tough. It's gonna be the best matchup, honestly.
It's gonna be one of the best matchups in the first round of the whole playoffs this year.
Yeah.
Definitely. My thing is like, is Al Horford gonna be guarding like Jason Tatum? Because like he's kind of slow. So are you gonna have either Ben?
Ben is gonna guard. Ben is gonna guard Tatum. Ben is he didn't even make like the finalists for Defensive Player of the Year, and his numbers have been absolutely insane this season. Like averages almost 3 steals per game. Like his percentages against like superstars in the league is just crazy. Like he's a premier defender, like a superstar defender.
Oh, he's one of the top defenders in the league. Honestly, it also helps that he's been guarding the point guard, so like his big frame and everything is just like it's so easy for him to poke the ball from everyone and actually play defense, stay on his man, and block shots too, because he blocks at least like gets one block per game. I'm assuming.
Yeah. I think what they should do, have Al come off the bench, and you start Matisse, because Matisse can guard any position from 1 to 3.
Yes.
So you probably put Matisse on Kemba, and then put Josh Richardson on Jaylen Brown. Then you have Ben on Tatum, and then Tobias will probably play against Tice, and then those two can interchange. Tice and Kanter will be switched out between Embiid and Tobias, but I think if Brent Brown can be smart and have Al Horford come off the bench, that would do our teams like a lot of good, because that matchup, that from 1 to 3, if you have Matisse against Kemba, Josh against Jaylen, and then Ben against Tatum, like that's ideal.
That would be the ideal matchups. That would be the ideal matchups. We honestly have to see, because I feel like we can both be right or we could both be wrong either way we go with this series and like the Miami-Indiana series too.
Right, yeah, both of those series, like the East have a lot of good matchups, but the West seems like the higher seeds are an obvious.
Yeah.
Besides OKC and Utah, but the East look like their matchups are going to be real fun to watch. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Philly in 7. I'm gonna go Sixers
Okay.
in 7.
Okay. Let's go on to the last one in the East, and then we'll quickly go back to the West. I mean, there's not that much to say about this Toronto versus Brooklyn matchup because, like, we kind of went into it a little bit that right now the Nets aren't even going to do much. They don't have Kyrie Irving and they don't have KD right now.
Yeah, Toronto, Boston. I mean, not Boston. I'm sorry, Brooklyn could. I could see them pulling off 1 or 2 games, but Toronto's been playing real nice this season. Like, obviously they had this. They had this second seed in the East. Like Siakam's been balling out. Yeah, they're champions, you know. Like they got to defend their crown. So
they came here to prove a point that they didn't need Kawhi Leonard as much as we thought about it.
And Nick Nurse is he's going to be another great coach for years to come.
Oh, definitely. The way he's so good with defensive and like all the switches and like the not switches, but like mid-game strategy. You know what I mean? Like he did the thing against Giannis last year. He created that. They're so good at adapting and defense. You see Toronto this season. They've been doing full court press. NBA players don't deal with that so much. So like they're like wait, what?
They don't play that type of defense in the NBA. Yeah.
I say Toronto in 5. That's my
Toronto. Yeah, I agree. I think Brooklyn will definitely pull off 1 or 2 games. They're another one of those gritty teams who like to get into you and all that. They have great players. Like Karis LeVert, he's gonna be nice. Spencer Dinwiddie, I love Spencer Dinwiddie. He's gonna be nice. But at the end of the day, once you have like Siakam, they're just former champions. You got to go with them. I'm gonna go to 5.
I agree. All right, let's go. So we have Lakers versus the Thunder. I don't think we need to go that in depth anymore because we kind of explained a little bit of the teams, but at the same time, it's like LeBron and AD, like against the Oklahoma City Thunder. The only matchup you should be scared, like if you're the Lakers, the only matchup you should be worried is Chris Paul against Rondo or who's their other point guard? I'm blanking.
Caruso, I guess Caruso is.
Yeah, Rondo or Caruso, like that's the only matchup you're really scared of your Lakers. But I see the Lakers winning like 5, 6, or 7. The Thunder are gonna get a game at least.
There maybe a game. I could see them sweeping them definitely.
You can see a sweep too. Ooh.
Oh yeah, I would give them 1 game just because maybe it's like the second round. OKC like sweeps 1, like comes out with a lot of energy. But this is a clear Lakers are gonna win this like series.
Okay, I agree with you. Like Lakers got this in the bag, honestly.
Yeah.
The whole season we've been seeing it's gonna be Lakers versus Clippers, and transitioning to another matchup. I think that's what's gonna happen. I see the Clippers beating the Denver Nuggets.
I can see them beating them, but it's not going to be easy.
Oh, it's not going to be.
It would definitely be longer than the Lakers series. 7 games.
7 games. Like Denver did that to Portland last year. That they went on a 7-game series in the semifinals.
I'd be very surprised if the Nuggets won. But if someone told me like, yeah, I think the Nuggets are gonna win, I wouldn't be like, all right, you're crazy. Like they could definitely upset them. I could see that, but
they could. That's the thing. I'm a big Nuggets fan. I like Jokic and Murray and that like group that they actually have. But it's just
they play like well together. Like I don't know, like their players aren't maybe like household names, but like they get the job done. They know what they're doing.
But the Clippers are just too much for them, in my opinion. But I agree with you. If someone went to tell me, like, Denver's going to win, I'd be like, okay. I mean, I'm not going to argue against you because they're still a good, solid team, too.
The Clippers, they're going to take this one in probably 6 or 7.
Let's quickly do, like, the Lakers and Clippers, and then we'll just go on to the East, and then we'll just do the finals, and we'll finish it off.
All right, yeah.
This is the most difficult matchup in the history of NBA playoffs.
This is what everyone's waiting for. LA versus LA. Like, I don't know. It's just
money for this. Like, when like they're broadcasting or live streaming, whatever they're doing, like this whole playoffs in Orlando, they're gonna break records with this matchup.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, with no fans, like it's gonna skyrocket. Like that's gonna be the most viewed like sporting event like of all time. Like it's gonna be crazy. This is real tough. They're both like equally as deep.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the Lakers stars are probably like LeBron and AD are probably better than Kawhi and Paul George.
I think the Clippers are deeper, but I agree with you that the Lakers' two stars, AD and LeBron, are better than Paul George and Kawhi Leonard.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like, I want to say it's going to come down to coaching because Doc Rivers is obviously a better coach than. LeBron's the coach at this point. Like, doesn't really matter. The other dude just a puppet. What's his name? He used to coach the Pacers. Frank Vogel. I don't know why I forgot his name.
Yeah, Frank Vogel. And they got Jason Kidd and Lionel Hollins on the bench.
Yeah, Jason Kidd's the assistant too, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I'm just not gonna go against LeBron. Like he wants his finals more than like anything. I feel like this year is different. Like playing for the Lakers, everything that happened with Kobe and all that, like the LA and LA battle.
Story. It would be a good story if LeBron.
It's gonna be a great story.
The year that Kobe died.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Lakers in 7, but definitely 7 games. But I mean, it could really go any way. Like I'm just saying LeBron because it's LeBron. Like at the end of the day, I'm not gonna go against LeBron.
I don't want to go against LeBron, but like I've seen how it's turned out this season, and even though we said it's a different type of beast, the playoffs compared to the season,
right?
Like I'm not gonna count out Kawhi Leonard after the season he had and the momentum that he still has, like from last season.
Mm-hmm.
The way that he was like with an injured leg going against not only the Sixers but the Bucks and then the Warriors. I know the Warriors were a little like
they were hurt, yeah.
But like he still did it. He was hurt too. Like he could play and he was hurt.
Yeah. It's a part of the game. Injury's a part of the game. You gotta deal with it.
Now, the Paul George, I don't have the most faith in him this season because he kind of hasn't been up to par with.
He's been real weird this season. I don't know why.
But I'ma I have to go with Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers. I think they have it.
Really?
I think they have it. It's gonna be 7 games because no matter who wins, it has to be 7 games. There's no way the series isn't like close. Like these the regular season games. There's a reason they're so like close. These two teams are basically up to par. They're like at the same level.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would have preferred if they would have restructured. I was hoping they would have restructured the playoffs just because of quarantine and they got bored and they wanted to experiment.
Yeah, and they did like 1 to 16. Yeah,
16,
I thought that's what they're gonna do, but I guess they ended up not doing. That would have been dope. Like you could see like Lakers Clippers finals.
That's what I mean. That would be an actual possibility for the finals, and we would get this matchup. But I'm gonna go with the Clippers. That's my opinion.
All right.
So when we go over the finals, we'll do both Lakers versus whoever and Clippers versus whoever. Because I mean,
all right, yep.
Milwaukee versus Miami.
Milwaukee versus Miami. I'm gonna go Milwaukee. Yeah. This one's gonna go like at least 6 games. I'm gonna say.
I can see it being 6 games. I was about to say 6 games easily.
I might be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure Miami hasn't lost to the Bucks this season.
They have not. They're one of the few teams that has beat the Bucks like every matchup they've had against them.
That's pretty crazy. You never know. They could upset them.
Did you know that the Milwaukee Bucks are the team that gives up the most 3-pointers in the season?
Really? And Miami's got some shooters with them.
Miami's the number 1 3-point scoring team.
That's crazy. Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero, they shoot the lights out.
They do. And they also got bigs that can shoot. Kelly Olynyk and
Miles Leonard. Yeah. That's gonna be a really good matchup too. That's kind of crazy that they didn't beat them. That they didn't beat Miami. But
the Bucks don't defend that well, the 3-point line. So I'm just assuming those 2 games, if we were to look up the highlights, it was just them giving every shot they had open.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say like the Bucks are gonna pull it out because Giannis, and I guess they're probably, I mean, they are just a lot more experienced than Miami is, even though they haven't gone that deep into the playoffs, they've been there like every year. And Miami has a lot of young guys who haven't really been there. So I'll go Milwaukee in probably 6 or 7 games. It's going to be another one of them series that's a good matchup. Like it's going to go long.
Oh, definitely. That's gonna be the first tough matchup that the Bucks are gonna see in the playoffs. That's
Right.
the thing.
Right.
And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna take back my Boston selection. I'm gonna just put the Sixers up here because I'd rather much see a Sixers Toronto matchup.
Yeah.
What happened last year? Now that I think about it, so
Mm-hmm.
now that we have the Sixers seeking revenge over the Raptors over the quadruple doink, and there's no Kawhi Leonard, this is a 6-7 game series.
Yeah. I think the Sixers get it. Because we did a great job defending Siakam last season. And really, like, that's all. Like, no, not gonna discredit Fred VanVleet or Kyle Lowry, but at the end of the day, if we stop Siakam, we're winning that series.
Unless
easy.
Kyle Lowry's doing like what he did in Game 6 of the NBA Finals.
Yeah, unless they're all going off like crazy, but
Fred VanVleet went off after he had a baby. He
yeah.
had a kid, and then he never missed. I don't think he missed like over 5 shots that whole span.
Well, I don't think Kyle Lowry was an All-Star this year, was he?
This year? No.
Yeah, no. So Toronto's a 2 seed, but they really only have like one.
Look at their bench. They have a lot of people that they developed.
Yeah.
They got Terrence Davis.
They got Powell, right? Norman Powell,
OG Anunoby. They still got Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka.
Yeah, I mean they're don't get me wrong, they're a great team. But like I said, if we can just stop Siakam, if you put Joel Embiid on Siakam, I don't see it going farther than 5 or 6 games.
That's the thing. As long as they manage to make Siakam not be the main option, I can't see Toronto winning this series.
No.
But if Siakam continues with the form he's got, because we gotta both agree, Siakam's been killing it this year.
Yeah, for sure.
Then that's when I can say Toronto's got this in the bag. But Siakam's a little inexperienced, and he's never been a first option this consistent year.
Yeah,
so,
he's gonna see playoff defenses. It's gonna be come at him different.
I'm gonna go for Sixers, honestly. I'm gonna go for Sixers. 7 games.
All right.
7 games.
Sixers and 7.
Because they've still been like a little inconsistent. So I'm thinking that this is gonna be like where they start like to be firing on all cylinders.
Right.
So Sixers and 7.
All right. So
we got Milwaukee versus the Sixers. Now I'm gonna stop your Sixers train over here because I'm sorry. This is the year Giannis takes to the final.
You think so?
I think so. Whether it's 5, 6, 7 games.
I don't know, man. Like I was saying, like once he gets out of like that Orlando series, faces Miami, that's gonna be like a long 6 to 7 game series. And I know the Sixers are gonna do the same thing with Toronto, but that's gonna be a grueling series for Milwaukee. Like, and especially with them, like they tend to like not show up in some games. Like they tend to fall off and like not do what they're supposed to. Like not be the Milwaukee Bucks and win games like they're supposed to. I just think the Sixers could. This is like I sound biased, but I genuinely think like if Joel and Ben come out of like this quarantine and do what they're supposed to do, like just like play like the top 10 players like they're supposed to be, like it's not gonna be easy, but it can be done for sure.
Oh, it is possible. Especially when you think about it, that they beat Boston and Toronto, and all they gotta do is beat Milwaukee now, the toughest of the teams. But you battled basically the 3 top teams in the conference.
Right. Yeah.
It can definitely be a possibility. I just think this Milwaukee Bucks team is like unprecedented. Like, sure, they've been the best team, and they had arguably, in my opinion, the MVP for 2 years in a row, right? But it's like a little bit of a different flavor for this Milwaukee Bucks team now, because like Wesley Matthews and Dante DiVincenzo. You got Robin Lopez and Ersan Ilyasova. They got Marvin Williams that they did a trade in the deadline. Like, I feel like this is the most – there's a reason they're like 60 and whatever. It's because this is the most perfect team constructed around Giannis.
Yeah.
And Giannis is finally at the point where if you do that wall Toronto did,
Mm-hmm.
he'll still knock a couple of those shots if you leave
Yeah.
him open from three. Then
Mm-hmm. If he's
I
hitting his threes, like if all he has to do is shoot like
he's shooting
30%, maybe
35%.
yeah,
He's
he's
the
shooting.
season is
Is he
35% the season.
35? Are you sure? That's high. I can't.
33 to 35. I'm banking on it. I'm banking on it. I think I'm gonna look it up while
He's
I talk.
shooting 20, 28, 28.
I'm gonna look it up while we
Yeah,
talk. But basically, I see Milwaukee doing this.
I think he's shooting 29%.
Oh, I was so off.
Yeah, isn't it like 28.5 or something?
Yeah, 28.5.
All right. Yeah, I mean, if he's all he has to do is shoot maybe like up that percentage, maybe 2 or 3 points, like make a couple more and shoot like 30 or 31%, and it's going to be tough to beat the Bucks. Like if Giannis is hitting his threes, and you know the rest of his team, like Chris Middleton and all them, can hit their threes.
Mm-hmm.
They're obviously they're number one. They're the number one team. They're going to be tough to beat. But I don't know. If I'm really banking on what Joel said today, he's coming in with something to prove. He's going to prove a lot of people wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's the best center in the league. And if he plays like it, I just don't think anyone in the league can guard him. He's the most dominant player in the league right now after Giannis.
Nah, I still gotta go with Milwaukee. I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah, I'm like I'm saying, I'm biased. Like I'm gonna say the Sixers. Yeah. This is probably the only time I'll be biased about the Sixers against Milwaukee because
okay,
I'm just gonna say the Sixers.
So how about we do this? Then you tell me who you think would win if it's the Lakers versus Sixers. I'm gonna just talk about who I think.
I think the Lakers are gonna win the finals.
You think the Lakers are gonna win?
Yeah, I think the Lakers are gonna win the finals no matter who they play. Yeah. Like I said before, I wasn't too sure about that Boston Sixers series, but no matter who they play, I think because I said out of that series, I think is going to go to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like no matter who they play, LeBron's going to get his ring, and Lakers are going to win the finals.
I can see that. I think the Lakers. If the Lakers make it to the finals, they got this in the bag. Now, if it's the Clippers, for example, against the Bucks, I can see that being a different of a story. If it's the Bucks versus the Lakers, I still see LeBron. No matter who LeBron would face in the East, I see LeBron winning. But I feel like for the Clippers, it depends more on their matchup because they're not having a dominant center or like defenders in the paint.
Right.
Like the reason the wall with Kawhi and Toronto worked is because they had Ibaka, Gasol, and they all and Siakam too. Like they had a bunch of big bodies that could do that thing to Giannis.
Yeah.
Clippers don't have that like luxury. They're deep. They don't have that luxury. So I see a bunch of scenarios. Like you could say the Bucks win if they face the Clippers, but if the Clippers face the Sixers, like I see the Clippers winning that.
Mm-hmm.
And I see the Lakers winning no matter the scenario. So I guess we can both agree that the ultimatum decision
is the Lakers.
Lakers.
Yeah. I don't know what it is with Milwaukee, but I can't see them making the finals. I don't know why. It's this playoff is gonna be real weird because like even for the Sixers, like I'm just now thinking of this, like we were the best team at home, like in the regular season.
No one's got home court.
No one's got home court advantage. So, like, it's going to be real weird to see, like, how teams adapt to that because obviously you want to play at home, like
it's gonna be like
where
AAU.
you're more comfortable.
It's gonna be like AAU basketball or something like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be real interesting to see. But I do agree with you. I think the ultimatum will be the Lakers. The Clippers will definitely have a tough time going against either Milwaukee or the Sixers because, like, they're just bigger. Like, not bigger necessarily, but it's going to be a hard time to stop, like, Joel Embiid or, like, they won't be able to do, like, the wall you were saying against Milwaukee. But, yeah, my pick for just the finals is going to be the Lakers.
I'm going to have to go with the Lakers, too, honestly. I feel like it's the year of LeBron. It's this time.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
make a great story.
I can not only the great story. I can see him being like, "Okay, I won. Peace out. I'm the GOAT or
You
something.
think he's gonna leave?
Retire. I can see him
No
retire.
way.
I
No
don't know.
shot. He's trying to stay until
If he
Bronny
wins,
comes in the league.
if he wins the title, and it's like a crazy grueling series to the point where like he's battered and hammered and all this, like he can't go on. Like I can see something happening.
That would be insane if he retired. He has another year on his contract like this. He signed a 2-year
One
contract.
more year.
One more year, yeah. Supposedly he's trying to play with Bronny for a year and then
I heard that. I read that.
and
That'd be
then
cool,
retire.
but like Ronnie's still not even in college, so like
I think what is he? Is he a sophomore this year or is he a freshman?
he's in high school. I actually don't
I'm
know.
pretty sure he's a freshman.
But you understand that you understand that would mean that like LeBron would have to play in the league for like minimum 4 more years for this.
Yeah, or 3 technically 3. But you can come out of high school now. Like they just changed that rule where you can go straight to the G League
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be the only option. But if Bronny wants to go to college and do his thing, then that's going to be pretty much impossible for LeBron. Not impossible, but he'd be like 42 at that point, I think.
Yeah, 40. He would be in the 40s, and that's when everyone just – we don't even know if LeBron will even be starter quality. Like, I'm not trying to say LeBron going to have a downfall. You never know.
LeBron's not human. He could looking at him right now, he could play another 10 years, honestly.
He's like Tim Duncan in that sense. Like, he just like – yeah. So it's interesting. We definitely have to see how that all unfolds. So
for sure.
Now, Smitty, any last words on the episode, my homie?
Any last words? Got to say, Sixers, watch out for them. Joel Embiid is the best center in the league.
Okay.
Jokic is not better than him. He's not. Just stop. He's not. Only thing Jokic is better is pass. That's the only thing. And MVP, dark horse for the NFL this year, Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz. Okay.
That's my Philly bias right there.
If he doesn't win, I'm going to hit you up and be like, what happened? Okay?
Well, we can talk about it again. Yes, for sure.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Smitty. Thank you for joining us. It means a lot to me for you to be on the podcast.
Of course, it was fun.
For those listening, thank you so much for paying attention to the whole thing. Peace out, my people.